Recently, China has taken an unusually aggressive turn in trade policies, and it's caught a lot of people on guard. So, in early October 2025, reports emerged that Beijing was sending official letters to governments all around the world. Basically, they were saying, we're going to impose export controls on everything related to rare earth elements and anything else we can think of, even if it's not made in China. So this isn't at all a normal routine announcement. It was a bold and almost shocking declaration. And imagine being Donald Trump, or imagine being United States and waking up to a letter, and policymakers are just going haywire, and it feels like China just threatened to squeeze the supply of some of the most essential resources on the planet. Meanwhile, China said its own shipping would also pay a fee when visiting US, but relatively small flat fee of $80 per ton, which for many vessels is much cheaper. So Beijing openly admits this, and this was retaliation. It was hitting back because the United States had planned to start charging Chinese vessels hefty fees in the US ports on the very same day. So in other words, both these countries were set to punch each other in the gut on October 14th, and we hope that things don't escalate further. And China's tone in this was very unapologetic, and the Chinese government blasted the US port fees as a clear discriminatory thing, saying Washington's new shipping charges would seriously disrupt the global supply chain and harm international trade. And they thought it was self-defense to protect their interest in shipping, and regardless of who started it, what we see is escalating tit-for-tat moves. It's a cycle of retaliation. You tax my ships and I tax yours. So in short, these elements are vitamins of the industrial world. A very small dose enables some very big technologies. And here's the kicker. China dominates this market like the OPEC never could with oil, and China is by far the world's largest producer of rare earth elements. And not only do they mine a lot of them, they process an even larger share. Over 90% of the world's processed rare earths and even powerful magnets come from, guess what? China. That's no over-exaggeration. So imagine one country controlling 90% of the world's supply chain and something vital to the modern economy lifeline. So in a way, rare earths are to high-tech manufacturing what oil is to transport, but concentrated in even a fewer hands. The whole world's economy right now is built upon petrochemicals, which is the oil that comes out from the grounds of Saudi Arabia and Venezuela and Qatar and all these countries. And the future economies will be built upon the rare earth minerals. Because imagine a future in which there's less carbon dioxide and there's less greenhouse gases and there's not so many petrochemicals, and people are going towards renewable energy. They're using solar panels, they're using electric cars. So all of this would be only possible because of the rare earth elements that are going to come out. And fortunately or unfortunately, Pakistan and Afghanistan has a huge amount of rare earth minerals. Some people estimate that even Pakistan might have more than $8 trillion worth of rare minerals, and Afghanistan even more. China has invested billions of dollars in Afghanistan as we speak. And America is asking for the Bagram Air Base from the Taliban. And the Taliban said, no matter what amount of money you give us, guys, we're not going to give you the Bagram Air Base. And why does America want to re-enter Afghanistan again after losing trillions and trillions of dollars and also losing so many equipment and army personnel? And they just left in a rush, and now they want to come back again. That is because they want to counter this whole region, which is especially China. And to counter China, they need to be in Afghanistan, and they need to be in Bagram, and they need Afghanistan's rare earth minerals, while the Chinese have been signing deals with the Afghanis for such a long while, and they have this infrastructure over there, and the Chinese would never allow Americans to re-enter Afghanistan, because Afghanistan is very important for the stability of China. Building an alternative supply chain takes, I guess, billions and billions of dollars. And one analyst noted, we may be entering a period of structural bifurcation where China builds its own supply network and the West builds theirs. So basically splitting the tech industry into two worlds. This might eventually create a balance, but in the short term, we're going to get no balance, because China holds the cards on rare earth minerals, and they just reminded everyone of the fact that they're going to just sanction, and they're going to close all the exports, and it's going to threaten the whole world economy.